Well, I can let people in while I do the intro. So, welcome
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for logging on and attending this morning's program, Guided Meditation with Leslie Gabriel. My name is Matt Schumann. I am on the programming team here at Cary Library. I don't even know why I write that down. Like I should just know that in my head. Before we begin, just a few things to note. Please let me know in the chat if there are any technical issues that I can try to resolve. If you have any questions or comments, just unmute yourself at the end or just send them in the chat. This program is made possible by the generous donors to the Cary Library Foundation. I'd like to now introduce Leslie Gabriele. Leslie is the founder of With Love and Gratitude, a nonprofit dedicated to helping individuals attain inner calm and peace in their lives through various techniques. Leslie will be back on January 3rd. I will try to migrate over everyone's sign up, but you may have to sign up again, or you can just reuse the same link. And that's just on carylibrary.org. So now please welcome Leslie.
Hi, welcome back to many of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Cary Library and the Cary Library Foundation for making this possible. So, and we're going to do a meditation today that is, it's it's not Hindu based, it's Buddha based. And it is a meditation that very few people open their minds to. So just listen to my voice and understand that meditation can be a variety of things, but it is not necessarily wiping your mind of thoughts or judging your thoughts or thinking that you're not supposed to think. Life is a story we weave together from our thoughts and our feelings, our emotions, our experiences for each moment. Yet we live the majority of our life in memories of our past and expectations of our future. Rarely do we live in the purity of the present. These past memories and future expectations that we embrace throughout the course of our lives are what we breed the stresses we feel each day. And a good example is the holiday season for many of us. Fortunately, there's a timeless way to recapture this connection to our truer self, the meditation practice. It allows us to experience our own source. With this experience, we realize that we're not the patterns of desire and memory and the flow and swirl in our consciousness. Although these patterns of desire and memory are a field of our manifestation, we are in fact not these swirling fluctuations of thought. We're not, we just think we are. We are the thinker behind the thought. We are the observer behind the observation. The flow of attention, the flow of awareness, the unbound ocean of consciousness is what we are. We just get messed up believing that we are our thoughts. Through meditation, we gradually rediscover our unconditional self, which can never really be lost. And that has nothing to do with thought, which is why when people link thought and meditation, they're linking the incorrect thing. Through meditation, we gradually rediscover our unconditional self. That's the link. Focus on self-inquiry through mindfulness. Everyone take a nice deep breath. And ask yourself, are you present in this moment? No judgment, just are you? Who is it? What am I? Are you present in this moment? Focus on the experiences instead of the thought. Who or what am I is the true question we're asking, not of the mind itself, but of the totality of what we are. It's not meant to be answered by the mind, although I'm sure many of you went that direction. We're not asking the mind only. It's meant to be answered from our totality, from our heart, from our gut, from our physical being, from our spirit, from our mind. Have you noticed what you're experiencing right now? Without changing anything, without judging anything. Are you experiencing right here, right now? Feel yourself in your environment. Be aware of any tension in the body. Allow yourself to relax, to let go. Are you experiencing right here, right now? Are you aware of what is right now without trying to change anything? The most important aspect of this meditation focus, self-inquiry, is the question you ask and how you ask it. Learning how to introduce the question to the core of your being. Self-inquiry, our meditation focus, introducing the questions to your core, not just to your mind. Learning to observe without evaluation, without judgment, watching instead of judging, watching, you're analyzing instead of analyzing. This meditation, we're not looking for answers from the mind. The question itself is a form of an answer. So when we look and observe and ask a question, it's focusing our awareness. It's drawing awareness attention to a specific direction. It's important to understand this to stop the mind from searching its history for answers. stopping the mind from searching its history for the answers and instead open the mind to now. This experience creates a gap in the mind through which we have a deeper experience. In order to find who we are and what we truly are, we begin by looking at what we're not. We just assume we are what we've been taught we are, what we accept we are. We're going to start with thought. We think we are our thoughts. Most identify through their thoughts. Are you doing that right now? Most people think they are who they think they are, good or bad, worthy or useless. These are all thoughts of the mind. Most people's sense of self is generated through the mind. And this sense of falsehood, created by the mind, we buy into. So we start by looking at the mind, which is all mind. We see there are thoughts. The assumption we are our thoughts. The mind likes that assumption. Look at what we've done. Somehow our thoughts tell us all about ourselves. However, notice what you're doing right now. When you start to explore this, yes, you see there are thoughts, but there's also the exploration of that thought. You notice that awareness itself lies before the thought. Awareness is there before any thought arises. Awareness is actually there to recognize that the thought is arising. Watch your thoughts and notice exactly what is happening. Awareness is there when the thought passes. Awareness is there before the thought, during the thought, and after the thought. You see, thoughts are provisional. Awareness is permanent. You can see it right now in your own experience. Yes, there is a thought, but there's also the witness to the thought, always prior to the thought. You are not your thoughts. You just think you are. Thoughts are happening to you. They are not who you are, and they are not what you are. So, thoughts cannot tell you who you are. Meditation is a true opportunity to look within yourself and find out if there is somebody. In looking within, you're presented with a great mystery. You can't find yourself. And yet, whatever you are, obviously, it is here, obviously aware right now in this one moment and the next and the next. Whatever it is may be, whatever you are, obviously is here, present and aware. Oh, but this confuses the mind because the mind only thinks in terms of you as being a thing, being a someone. You might have noticed it's very difficult for your mind that thinks in terms of you as being other than a thing, other than a someone. This concept's difficult for the mind. The mind believes you are thoughts. What you are is not a somebody or a something. It can't be found. As you look in this way, our whole notion of self begins to transform because you begin to see for your own self that what you are rejects the notions that you're a somebody or a something. What is there in the absence of somebody or something? The this that notices the absence of self, this awareness. The awareness that notices complete lack of entity offers an opportunity to open to what you are beyond a thought. So maybe, just maybe, you were never a somebody or a something. Maybe it can't be found because it doesn't exist. And now your whole definition of yourself comes into question. So what do we call this thing? What then can this thing called I be? This questioning, this investigation, this deep self-inquiry leads you to the endpoint, to the place where there is no somebody. To the place where what you are certainly is regardless of whether you know what it is or not, whether you understand this or not. It's the awareness. You are aware, watching the thought, questioning the reality. That awareness transcends thought. It can watch the thought. This meditation takes you to the absence of definitions. It allows you to be something beyond thought. It allows you to transcend thing or somebody into a different definition of what I is. And there is an invitation to rest there, to stop there. Instead of thinking about it, defining it, just stop and rest. Let the mind do what the mind does. Just experience this one moment. Watch the mind. Watch the body. Rest in place without definition. Just stop there without resistance, without running, without analysis or explanation. Just feeling and noticing and experiencing, allowing awareness. Without investigation or even understanding. You don't need to understand. That's the point of this. You can just experience and notice your thoughts. Watch them instead of being them. Watch the observer observe. Just allowing yourself to be here now. Creating a gap in the mind through which we have a deeper experience. Seeing there is a thought, but there's also the ability to explore thought, and that is awareness. Thoughts are provisional, awareness is permanent. The mind is confused now because the mind only thinks in terms of you being a thing or a someone. This concept's very difficult for the mind. But I ask you to open to what you are beyond a thought and rest and relax in that space. Just noticing, feeling, and experiencing. This is an esoteric meditation for many, attempting to show you there's a thinker behind the thought, an observer behind the observation. There's an unbounded ocean of consciousness before the thought, called the unconditioned self. So I want to thank Matt for hosting, all of you for coming, and the Library Foundation for sponsoring this. We'll be back in January. I'm wishing everyone the most happy of holidays. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you in 2022. Woohoo!
Thank you
care,
very much.
everybody.
Wish you all good health
Leslie.
and peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Stay well, Matt. Bye.